Okay, before we do anything else, honest answer, no judging. What time do you actually go to bed on a normal weeknight? And I want the real time, not the time you tell people you go to bed.
You're asking me to admit my bedtime in front of everyone? Fine. On a good night, I'm in bed by 11. But in bed and asleep are two very different things. I usually lie there scrolling for another hour, convincing myself it's productive.
Scrolling. I should have known. So what's the real damage? Midnight? 1 in the morning?
Usually around midnight, if I'm honest. And then I spend the next morning regretting every extra minute. I've lost count of the mornings I've woken up thinking, why did I do that to myself again? A cycle I keep meaning to break.
And on that note, welcome to the show, everyone. I'm Emma, your host, and this is Jake, my co-host and official night owl in denial.
A night owl in denial. That's going on my gravestone. Anyway, today's topic is one we can all relate to. Your typical evening routine. What you do between finishing work and falling asleep.
It sounds like a simple topic, but it's full of interesting language, phrasal verbs, idioms, everyday expressions. And honestly, everyone has strong opinions about their evenings. Perfect conversation material.
Exactly. Ask someone about their evening routine and you'll learn a lot about them, their habits, their personality, their excuses for staying up late. So Emma, let's hear yours. I know you're secretly judging my midnight scrolling.
Okay, fair. Mine starts early. I'm usually home by 6:30, and I have this whole evening ritual. A set series of actions I repeat every night, almost without thinking. Dinner, a cup of tea, and then the part I never skip, 20 minutes of reading before bed.
Reading before bed? That's very disciplined of you. I'm impressed. But what about the phone? Are you telling me you don't scroll at all? Not even a little?
I try not to. The phone goes in the other room about an hour before I sleep. If it's next to me, I can't help myself. I'll pick it up just for a minute, and suddenly it's an hour later. So it has to be out of sight.
Out of sight, out of mind. That's the saying, isn't it? If you can't see it, you won't think about it. I should try that. My phone and I have an unhealthy attachment. A close relationship that's probably not good for me.
An unhealthy attachment. Very diplomatic. So walk me through your actual evening, from the moment you finish work. No hiding anything.
Okay, full confession. I get home, I eat something far too late, and then I sit on the sofa watching TV, which actually means staring at my phone while the TV plays in the background. Then, around 10, I remember I have things to do and I panic clean the kitchen.
Panic cleaning at 10 at night? That's the most relatable thing you've ever said. And then what?
I sit back down, reward myself with a snack, my polite way of saying I raid the cupboard, and then the scroll begins. And the next thing I know, it's midnight, and I'm furious with myself. Same story, every single night.
So your evening is food, sofa, panic, snack, scroll, regret. That's quite a routine.
When you put it like that, it sounds like a comedy sketch. But it's real, and I'd love to break the cycle. So tell me honestly, is your evening really as tidy as you make it sound? No chaos, no bad habits?
Oh, there's chaos. I just schedule mine differently. I'll tell myself I'm going to do some work in the evening, catch up on emails, and then I get distracted by a recipe video, and suddenly it's 9 o'clock and I've learned to make 3 types of pasta I'll never cook.
The recipe video trap. It's like the internet knows exactly what will keep us from doing the thing we planned. So you're not perfect either. That's a relief?
Far from perfect. But here's the difference. I have a cutoff point. A set time when I stop everything and start winding down. For me, that's 9 o'clock. After that, no work, no screens, just me, my book, and my tea.
A cutoff point? That sounds so sensible. What time would mine have to be? 11? 10:30? The thought alone makes me nervous.
Nervous about stopping scrolling. That tells you everything, doesn't it? But I get it. It's hard to switch off when you've been switched on all day. You know that feeling when your brain just keeps buzzing, even though your body is tired?
Oh, completely. My brain at midnight is a washing machine, thoughts going round and none of them getting anywhere. I lie in bed planning tomorrow, worrying about yesterday, and inventing problems that don't exist.
Inventing problems that don't exist. The official definition of trying to sleep. There's a word for that state. Wired and tired. You're exhausted, but your mind won't slow down. Horrible combination.
Wired and tired. That's me. And I've tried everything. Counting sheep, breathing exercises, calm music. My brain just looks at it and says, thanks, but I'm going to keep replaying that awkward conversation from 2017.
Replaying awkward conversations from 2017. The Midnight Brain has a very specific playlist. Okay, so let's talk about the word everyone uses for this. Wind down. It means to relax gradually after being busy or stressed, to let your body and mind slow down.
And its cousin, unwind. The same idea, to loosen up, to let go of the day's tension. You hear it all the time. I need to unwind after work. It takes me an hour to wind down. 2 verbs, 1 very important evening activity.
Exactly. And I want to know, what actually helps you wind down? Is there anything that genuinely works, or is it all just scrolling?
Honestly, a walk. If I go for a short walk after dinner, even 20 minutes, I sleep so much better. It's like the day's stress gets left out on the street. The problem is getting myself out the door.
So you know what works, you just don't always do it. That's very human. There's a saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You can know the solution, but you have to choose to use it.
And this horse keeps staring at the water and then going back to the sofa. But okay, let me ask you something. What about the shower debate? Morning people shower in the morning, evening people shower at night. Where do you stand?
Oh, I'm firmly in the evening camp. There's nothing like a hot shower at the end of the day. It washes off the day, you know? It's my official work mode is over signal. My brain hears the water and switches off.
I'm a morning shower person, but I respect the logic. A hot shower is basically a reset button. And there's research that says it helps you sleep. Your body temperature drops afterward, and that tells your brain it's time to rest.
See, that's the kind of fact I love. Your body has a thermostat, and a warm shower lowers it, which is a signal to sleep. It's like giving your brain a little nudge, a gentle push in the right direction.
A gentle push. And that reminds me, what else is a nudge? Your morning alarm. Which brings me back to the night owl thing. You once said you wanted to become a morning person. Is your evening routine part of that plan?
Oh, completely. It's all connected. If I want to wake up at 6:30 feeling human, I have to be asleep by 10:30. The evening routine is the foundation. The base everything else stands on. You can't build a good morning on a bad night.
You can't build a good morning on a bad night. That's going on the poster. So the secret to being a morning person isn't the morning at all. It's the evening before?
Exactly. The morning person was made the night before. I've tested this. On nights when I'm asleep by 10, the morning is easy. On nights when I'm up late, the alarm feels personal.
The alarm feels personal. The most accurate description of a Tuesday morning I have ever heard. So how do you get yourself to bed at 10:30?
The trick is the wind down hour. At 9, the lights go dim and the screens go off. I make my tea, I read, and by 10:15, my body is already half asleep. I trick myself into being sleepy before my head hits the pillow.
So you're not fighting your body at 10:30. You've already won the battle at 9. That's clever. I've been fighting a battle at midnight that I should have won at 10.
There it is, the whole episode in one sentence. So let's talk about some more useful language, because this topic is full of it. For our learners, there's doze off, which means to fall asleep accidentally, usually when you didn't mean to.
Oh, I doze off all the time. On the sofa, on the bus, in the middle of a film. I once dozed off during a film I was really enjoying, woke up for the ending, and had to ask my friend what had happened. She wasn't impressed.
You missed the middle of a film you were enjoying. That's the price of the sofa. And there's another one, hit the hay. a casual, funny way of saying go to bed. I'm exhausted. I'm going to hit the hay.
I love hit the hay. It makes going to bed sound like a cowboy thing. And what pairs perfectly with it? Toss and turn. When you can't sleep and you keep moving around restlessly. I tossed and turned for 2 hours last Tuesday thinking about a work email.
The midnight brain and the work email. Classic combination. And of course, there's stay up and sleep in. Stay up late watching a series, then sleep in. Wake up much later than usual at the weekend to recover.
And the granddaddy of them all, burn the midnight oil. It's an old saying that means working late into the night. Students burn the midnight oil before exams. I burned it once before a presentation and looked like a zombie the next day.
A zombie with a presentation. I'm sure you were great. Okay, let me ask you something real. What's the worst part of your evening routine? The thing you'd change first if you could?
The phone, without a doubt. It's the last thing I touch at night and the first thing I grab in the morning. It eats my evenings and delays my sleep. I know it's the problem, and yet, here we are, 2 reasonable adults, and one of them can't stop scrolling.
The scroll is strong with this one. But honestly, you're not alone. There's even a word for it now, doom scrolling. It means scrolling through bad news late at night, even though it makes you feel worse. A trap, and millions of us are in it.
Doom scrolling. That's the word. I didn't know it had a name, but it definitely has me. And you're right, it never makes me feel better. It just adds a layer of worry to my midnight thoughts.
So what would your ideal evening look like then? If you could design it from scratch, no bad habits, no scrolling, what would it be?
Okay, ideal Jake's evening. Dinner at a normal hour, not 9 o'clock, then a walk. Then I'd read for a bit. I keep saying I'll read more, and I own 40 books I haven't opened. Then lights out at 10:30, asleep by 11. The dream.
That sounds achievable, honestly. Every part of it is doable. The walk, the book, the early night. So what stops you? And I don't want the easy answer, which is laziness.
The easy answer is laziness, but the real answer is momentum. My bad habits have momentum. They keep going once they start. It's easier to keep scrolling than to stop. Breaking that momentum is the hard part.
Momentum. That's a really good word for it. And there's a trick for breaking momentum. You replace the habit, not just remove it. Instead of stop scrolling, it's go for a walk. The brain needs something to do, not just something to stop doing.
That makes sense. You can't leave a hole in your evening and expect nothing to fill it. So the question is, what fills the hole? For me, maybe the walk. For someone else, a hobby or calling a friend.
Calling a friend. That's a lovely idea. My grandmother calls my aunt every evening at 8, and they talk for exactly half an hour. Every day. Like clockwork, with total regularity.
Like clockwork. I love that. And it shows that evening routines aren't just about sleep. They're about connection, too. Checking in with the people who matter after a day of being busy. That's a tradition, almost. Wait, that was last episode's topic.
A crossover episode. But you're right. Evenings are when we connect. Dinner with family, calls with friends, time with a partner. For a lot of people, the evening is the only time they get to be with the people they love.
That's true. And it's also the only time we get to be with ourselves. That's why evenings matter. They're the boundary between work me and actual me. If you spend the whole evening on autopilot, doing things without thinking, you never really become yourself again.
Work me and actual me. I really like that. And that boundary is something you have to protect. If you answer work emails at 10 at night, you never let work go. The evening becomes an extension of the office.
Oh, that's a huge one. I know people who check their work messages right up until they close their eyes, and then they wonder why they feel stressed all the time. The evening is when the day should be let go, released, finished.
There's a phrase for this, switch off. It can mean turning off a device, but it also means mentally disconnecting from work. I can't switch off at night. I keep thinking about the project. It's one of the most useful expressions in English.
And the opposite is can't switch off, which is most of us, honestly. But when I actually do switch off, no phone, no work, the next day is always better. Calmer, sharper, more patient.
The evening pays for the morning.
The evening pays for the morning. That's the truest thing we've said. So let's zoom out for a moment. Are evening routines different around the world? I find that fascinating because evening means different things in different cultures.
Completely different. In Spain, dinner is at 9 or 10 at night, and the evening doesn't really start until late. In Northern Europe, people eat early and the evenings are shorter. And in some countries, there's a siesta, a short rest in the afternoon, so the evening starts later.
I'd love to experience a late Spanish dinner, the whole street coming alive at 10 at night, but my body would think it was the end of the world. There's a thing called your body clock. You know, your internal rhythm that tells you when to sleep and when to wake.
Your body clock. And the trouble is, mine and my lifestyle don't agree. My body clock says sleep at 11, but my phone says, one more video. The phone usually wins. It's very persuasive. You know, convincing, hard to resist.
The persuasive phone. Okay, so let's get practical. If someone listening wants to improve their evening routine, where should they start? Give me 3 simple things. Nothing dramatic, nothing expensive.
Okay. 1, pick a cutoff time and stick to it. Even 10 minutes earlier than usual is a win. 2, put the phone in another room at that cutoff. 3, do one small calm thing. Read, stretch, have a proper cup of tea. That's it. 3 things.
That's beautifully simple. And the beauty of it is, none of those things require willpower in the moment. You set the decision in advance. It's like setting a trap for your future self, but a kind one.
A kind trap. I love that. Set the trap at 9 and the 10:30 version of you will be grateful. Honestly, future you is the person we should all be looking after. They have to live with our decisions.
Future you. That's a great way to think about it. And it connects to something we've said in earlier episodes. Small, consistent actions be big, dramatic ones. You don't fix your evenings in one night. You fix them one night at a time.
Exactly. One good evening doesn't change your life, but 100 of them, a string of them, one after another, changes everything. It's like compound interest, but for your sleep and your mood.
Compound interest for your evenings. I like that. So, confession time. What's the worst evening routine you've ever heard of? Someone else's, I mean, not yours. I need to feel better about my habits.
Okay, I have one. A friend of mine used to work until midnight, then eat a huge meal, then watch action films until 2 in the morning, every night. He said it was his time. He fell asleep at his desk at work 3 times in 1 month. His boss suggested a lifestyle change.
A lifestyle change. The polite way of saying, please go to bed. And I bet he thought he was fine, immune to needing sleep. We all think we're the exception until we fall asleep at our desks.
Exactly. We think sleep is for other people, but it's not. Sleep is the foundation. You know, the base everything else builds on. Without it, everything wobbles. Your mood, your focus, your patience, your health.
And that's the meaningful part of this whole conversation. It's easy to think of your evening routine as the unimportant part of the day, the bit that doesn't count, but it's actually the most important. It decides how you wake up and how you show up.
The evening decides the morning. That's the summary of everything we've said. So let me ask you the opening question in reverse. If you could change one thing about your evening routine, what would it be?
Being more consistent. My routine works when I stick to it, but life gets in the way. A late dinner, a friend visiting, a series I can't stop watching, and then I'm off track for days. My change? Don't let one late night become a habit.
One late night becoming a habit. That's the trap. And there's a saying, bad habits are easy to make but hard to live with. A single night isn't a disaster. The disaster is letting the exception become the rule.
The exception becoming the rule. Exactly. So here's our challenge for this week. Write down your evening routine. Honestly, what do you actually do, not what you wish you did? Then pick one small change to make this week.
Yes, and tell us about it in the comments. What's your evening routine? What's your one change? We'll read them all, possibly while lying in bed, possibly while scrolling, let's be honest.
Fully honest. And for our English learners, you now have a toolbox of evening vocabulary. Wind down, unwind, doze off, hit the hay. Toss and turn, stay up, sleep in, burn the midnight oil, switch off. Use them this week.
And don't forget the little ones. Wired and tired, doom scrolling, body clock, like clockwork. English speakers love this topic, so you'll always have something to say. It's the perfect small talk. Everyone has an evening, and everyone has opinions about it.
Okay, let me land this because I want to end on something real. Your evening routine isn't just a list of things you do before bed. It's a promise you make to tomorrow's version of you. A quiet act of self-care. Taking care of your own well-being.
A promise to tomorrow's you. I love that. You're not just going to bed, you're setting up the next day, choosing how tomorrow morning feels. That choice is quietly powerful, the smallest big decision you make all day.
And it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't need a Pinterest-worthy evening routine. One that looks beautiful in photos. You just need one that works for you. A cup of tea and a book, a walk around the block, a phone call to someone you love.
Exactly. The best evening routine is the one you actually keep, and it can be as simple as putting your phone down and breathing for 5 minutes. Small is fine. Simple is fine. Consistent is what matters.
So tonight, try one small thing differently. Put the phone in the other room. Go for the walk. Choose the book over the scroll, and see how tomorrow morning feels. I think you'll be surprised.
And if you forget, if the scroll wins tonight, don't beat yourself up. There's always tomorrow evening. Every evening is a fresh chance. That's the beauty of a daily routine. You get to start again 24 hours later.
Thank you for being with us today, everyone. Tonight, be kind to your future self. See you next time. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone. And remember, the evening is when you decide what kind of morning you're going to have. Wind down, switch off, and hit the hay at a sensible hour. I'll try to take my own advice. See you next time.